Hey Grownups, looking for a meaningful screen-free activity for your Taleblazers this summer? May I introduce you to the Girl Tales Pen Pal program. It is a special opportunity for Taleblazers around the world to connect through their shared love of stories and good old-fashioned letter writing. This program is exclusively for Girl Tales Club members at $7 a month or more on Patreon. When you join, your child gets so much more than just a pen pal. They'll also receive a shout-out on the podcast, access to our monthly Girl Tales Club meetings, and other special surprises along the way. Each month, we'll provide creative prompts to inspire your Taleblazers' letters, helping them grow in patience, imagination, and self-expression, all while making a new friend through the magic of snail mail. Sign up today at patreon.com/girltales. Pen Pal matches go out June 15th. That's patreon.com/girltales.
Hey Taleblazers, I'm Etta, and this is Girl Tales.
A kids podcast packed with girl power and stories where every child's voice matters. Before we get started, I'd like to give a very special shout out to Lulea, Helen in Philadelphia, and Olivia and Amelia in Malta. And I'd like to wish a very happy 5th birthday to Roma Faulkner, happy 10th birthday to Nettie, and happy birthday to Bryn in Collingwood, Ontario. Bryn, Nettie, Roma, Amelia, Olivia, Helen, and Lulea, thank you all so much for listening to Girl Tales. Grownups, Girl Tales is brought to you by families like yours. If you would like to hear your child's name at the top of our next episode, or if you would like me to wish them a happy birthday, head to patreon.com/girltales and join a team today. Oh, and hey, do you love Girl Tales and making your own stories at home? Well, the Girl Tales Starter Pack is made just for you. It includes a vintage book of fairy tales, a Taleblazer pencil, a Girl Tales notebook, bookmark, and sticker. Everything you need to dream up your own magical adventures. Grownups can grab one now at girltalespodcast.com/shop. Now, on to our episode. Today's story is inspired by 2 stories written by 2 groups of Taleblazers at our Kennedy Center and Brooklyn events back in March. I'll read you the original stories right after this story ends. They were inspired by a photograph taken by Vivian Meyer. Vivian was an American street photographer. She took a lot of photos of people and architecture in American cities and places all over the world. But while she was alive, no one had ever seen her work. It wasn't until after her death that her photography was discovered and was put on the internet that people really got to know her work. She took over 150,000 photos in her lifetime. To see the photo that inspired the stories that inspired the Girl Tales story, take a look at our Instagram at Girl Tales Podcast. We'll post it there. This is The Lost Doll. Enjoy! I'd like to tell you about a friend of mine. Her name is Olivia, and she lives right here in Freshwater. Oh, but before I tell you more about Olivia, I have to tell you some strange things have been going on in Freshwater. A small man in a suit and funny hat, and a large man in a suit have been spotted in town, asking a lot of questions about magic. As you know, Freshwater has some pretty magical creatures, objects, and people. We're very friendly and willing to answer most people's questions, but a lot of us have a funny feeling about these 2 businessmen who've been poking around. My wife Pippa spotted them waving a strange device around on Farmer McDonald's farm, and Akari said they scanned all her baked goods with some kind of handheld machine. It's certainly odd. But back to our story. Olivia loves to hang out with her best friends, a crew of other 11-year-old girls, Jonquil, Fia, and Zala. A few weeks ago, Jonquil invited all the girls to meet at the playground by her house, then go back to hers for a slumber party. The Saturday of Jonquil's party came, and Olivia carefully packed her overnight bag with a set of pajamas, her toothbrush, and of course, her soft felt doll named Dolly. Olivia loves country music, so she named her doll after Dolly Parton. Olivia noticed that fewer and fewer of her friends brought their blankies, dollies, or stuffies with them to sleepovers. But Olivia needed Dolly with her when she went to sleep. Still, she planned to wait until everyone was asleep, then get Dolly out of her bag, just in case any of her friends would think she was babyish. There was just something about Dolly. Something comforting, yes, but also different. Like she was more than just stitches and stuffing. The weather was beautiful, so the playground was packed. Olivia ran around with Jonquil, Fia, and Zala until they were all breathless and tired. Eventually, Jonquil's mom said it was time to head to their house for dinner. The girls grabbed their sleepover bags and started walking toward Jonquil's house. Olivia unzipped her bag to double-check that Dolly was okay. But she couldn't find her doll in the bag.
Olivia, hurry up,
Fia said.
Yeah, my dad is going to order pizza for dinner,
Jonquil added.
Okay, coming,
Olivia said, starting to worry about where Dolly could have gotten to.
I hope they have vegan pizza,
Zala said. Olivia was distracted, thinking about where Dolly could be. They walked down the wooded path to Jonquil's and ordered pizza, including vegan pizza for Zala and gluten-free pizza for Jonquil. Olivia saw her chance to slip away and check the bag more thoroughly. She hurried to Jonquil's basement, where mats and cushions for the sleepover were all set up.
Where are you, Dolly?
She turned her bag inside out, unzipping everything, turning it upside down, and shaking out her clothes, pajamas, and toothbrush.
Hey, Olivia, everything okay? What are you looking for?
Olivia gasped. She hadn't heard Zala come downstairs.
Nothing, just my, don't worry about it. I'm sure it's just at home.
Olivia hurried to Zala and hustled upstairs for pizza. All through dinner, Olivia was distracted, worrying about where Dolly was. But she didn't want to tell her friends she still had a doll. They might think she was being a baby. After dinner, the girls played board games, then watched a movie with popcorn, and finally started to get ready for bed. As the night got later, Olivia got more and more anxious about trying to sleep without Dolly. Olivia was lying right in the middle of the room next to Jonquil, Fia, and Zala. The girls giggled and talked past lights out. Then slowly but surely, they started to drift off. Not Olivia. Olivia lay awake, staring at the ceiling. When she was sure everyone else was asleep, she crept over to her overnight bag to check it one more time for Dolly.
Where could she be?
She whispered to herself. Suddenly, a flashlight beam was pointing at Olivia. Jonquil and Zala were awake.
Olivia?
What are you doing?
I'm just looking for something. Go to sleep, you guys. It's fine.
But Zala and Jonquil could tell Olivia wasn't fine.
What's going on?
Soon, Fia was awake too, and Olivia couldn't hide her feelings anymore.
My Dolly. I need her to sleep, and she's not here. I'm sure you guys think I'm a baby, but...
Hey, it's okay, Olivia.
We don't think you're a baby. I have my gray elephant, Lovey, from when I was little. I kind of hid it from you all, though. I don't know why, but I always sleep better when it's nearby. I still sleep with my rainbow bear. I put it under my pillow so nobody would see it. She just makes me feel safe, like she's watching out for me or something. Why are we scared to be honest with each other? That's silly. We're friends and we love and support each other, right?
All the girls agreed. Olivia sniffled and smiled at her friends, realizing they were the best.
Thanks, but I still don't know where Dolly is.
Straight away, Jonquil, Fia, and Zala formed a search party. Olivia described Dolly, and they all tiptoed upstairs, retracing their steps through the house. Fia brought her rainbow bear, and Jonquil brought her gray elephant. Maybe the Loveys would help in the search.
Where's the last place you saw Dolly?
Zala whispered.
I know I packed her, but when we were at the playground, I checked my bag and she was missing.
The girls looked at each other. We've got to check the playground. They piled into Jonquil's family van.
Wait a second. We're only 11. We don't have driver's licenses,
Jonquil reminded them, so they knocked on Jonquil's big brother Roger's bedroom door. He was awake, and he agreed to walk with them to the playground. They all grabbed flashlights and headed out the side door on foot. At night, the woods, which had been cheerful and lovely during the day, suddenly seemed very spooky. Twigs cracked, and the girls jumped. They huddled together and held their stuffies close as they walked on the path to the playground.
I sure hope there aren't any bears out here,
Roger said. He was just teasing, but the girls picked up their pace. Soon they were on the playground. The wind made the swings sway and creak.
Okay, let's split up and look for Dolly.
The girls paired up, Jonquil and Fia, and Olivia and Zala. Olivia was glad to be with Zala because Zala helped her stay calm. Each pair went off to a different part of the playground and started searching. Suddenly, Olivia spotted a set of headlights coming down the road to the playground.
Guys, hide!
All the girls and Roger ducked down and found hiding places. Why would someone be visiting a playground after dark? The car stopped and the headlights turned off. 2 men in business suits got out of the car. One was tall and broad. The other was short and wore a funny hat. Zala whispered to Olivia.
Hey, I recognize that little man in the funny hat. He once tried to hunt a golden bighorn sheep here in Freshwater. What's he up to?
What did I tell you? Our scanners have found something magical.
The small man in the suit said.
But gosh, how can we steal a whole magical playground?
We can't take a playground, you fool! There's a magical object here. That's what we're stealing. Get out the scanner.
Okay, Bosh. Hey, it led me to this doll over here.
The girls looked at each other. Dolly.
Let me see that. Yes! This doll is a magical item. Put it in the sample bag. We'll take it to the lab. When we dissect the doll and find out what's powering the magic, we'll be rich. Rich, I tell you.
Dissect her? What should we do?
Olivia cried out. The girls had to get Olivia's dolly back. Just then, a strange wind started swirling, and a tinkling sound seemed to come from far away. Fia and Jonquil looked down at their loveys. Rainbow Bear and Gray Elephant were moving. The girls yelled in surprise.
Who's there?
Dolly was moving. The large man dropped Dolly, who landed on her feet. Rainbow Bear and Elephant jumped down and stood with Dolly. The 3 loveys slowly, menacingly walked toward the men in suits.
I'm scared, Bosh.
Don't be a baby. They're just stuffies.
With that, the small man in the suit swung his leg back to kick the stuffies. But they were too fast. The loveys leapt on him, all 3 of them, and knocked him over. The big man screamed again and ran to the car. The small man wriggled around, yelling for help.
Help! Help! Ah! Ah!
Dolly! Elephant! Rainbow Bear!
When they heard their names, the loveys looked up. That pause gave the small man a chance to wriggle free. He dashed to the car as the large man started driving away.
Wait for me, you fool!
The girls and their loveys watched the car drive away.
Dolly?
The doll, elephant, and Rainbow Bear each walked over to their kid.
Your stuffies saved the day!
Zala said in awe. Can you guys talk?
Yeah, how are you moving around? Are you magic?
But the stuffies didn't say anything as Jonquil, Fia, and Olivia picked them each up.
Maybe they can't talk, but they sure are brave, and they saved Freshwater from those thieves.
The strange and magical tinkling sound faded, and the girls' stuffies were still again. Roger poked his head out from behind the slide.
I helped.
Roger, you hid behind the slide the whole time.
Well, your stuffies had it under control.
The girls laughed. Olivia cuddled Dolly close.
Thank you all for helping me find Dolly,
Olivia said. The girls came together for a massive hug. They really made a great team. They carefully walked back through the woods to Jonquil's house and snuggled into their sleeping bags. Olivia hugged her Dolly, Jonquil held her elephant, and Fia snuggled her rainbow bear. They all slept until late in the morning, feeling safe and cozy because their stuffies were watching over them and each other. And here are the original stories that we based The Lost Doll on. This one is from our Brooklyn event. I'd like to tell you a story about a friend of mine. Her name is Amelia, and she is playing with her dolly in the playground. Amelia dropped her dolly by accident when she was running around, and it wound up in a trash can. She went home that night, but at bedtime, she searched for the dolly everywhere. But she couldn't find it. How can she go to sleep? She can't go to sleep without her. I panic. Amelia asked her mom if she had her dolly. Amelia was so worried that she snuck out with her crew and neighborhood friends. However, when they got outside, Amelia noticed how dark it was and began to panic. There were no streetlights and everything was pitch black. But luckily, a member of her crew had a flashlight. Then, out of nowhere, as they flashed the light around, they noticed a police car pulling up to the park/playground fence. They couldn't see much, but they used the flashlight to read the license plate. They could only see 28. Amelia was worried the car had taken Dolly. The police noticed the neighborhood crew looking their direction. The police get out of the car and start chasing the kids. The kids run into the police car and start driving. They remember they don't have driver's licenses, so they stop the car next to a trash can and find Dolly inside the trash can, covered up by pizza plates. The end. Now here is the story inspired by the same photograph, but written by the kids in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center. I'd like to tell you about a friend of mine. Her name is Anna Foxwood, and she loves dolls and stuffies. She usually knows what she's doing, but one day she made a mistake. This mistake was throwing away her oldest doll. She had had it for 12 years, as long as she was alive. What Anna didn't know was that the doll was magical. So the doll came to life with an angry vengeance. She wanted to find Anna, the girl who threw her away. And then she found Anna, and somehow her feelings changed. She thought it was Anna, but actually it turned out to be someone else. Their name was Star Anise. And then she got thrown away again by Star Anise. The doll decided she'd had enough. She climbed out of the trash and found a peach cow. The peach cow knew karate. They joined forces and got other dolls and squishmallows into it. They developed a huge army and set off to find the people who tried to throw them away. The end. Thank you to all of the Taleblazers who attended our Brooklyn and Washington, D.C. events and wrote these stories that inspired The Lost Doll. I'd also like to thank all the Girl Tales Club members because they listened to this story before anybody else and gave us their notes and feedback and made the story as good as it is today. So many Taleblazers took part in making this story possible. Thank you all so much. Grownups, Girl Tales Club is going to have meetings over the summer where we're going to read original fairy tales together and then adapt them into stories that we'll read on the Girl Tales feed next season. So if your Taleblazer is interested in doing that, just head on over to patreon.com/girltales and sign up for the Girl Tales Club tier or above today. That was The Lost Doll, written by Tessa Flannery, with help from Taleblazers all over the world. Produced by Tessa Flannery. performed and executive produced by Rebecca Cunningham. Grownups, thanks for listening to Girl Tales with your Taleblazers. Before you go, here are some questions to help keep the conversation going with your child. What part of today's story did you enjoy the most, and why? Did you connect with a character in this story? Did you learn something new? How did you feel about this story? Did it remind you of something in your own life? We hope this sparks some fun and meaningful conversations. Girl Tales is a Cordelia Studios production. Grownups, you can get access to ad-free episodes of Girl Tales, as well as a range of other shows for the kids in your life by subscribing to Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to hear me narrate the original stories of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, or Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, head to patreon.com/girltales and join Team Sunnybrook or above. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. And hey, if you loved this story, share it with a friend. Oh, and remember, I believe in you.
There's a hill and a road and a path where I know you must go. Through the sun, wind, rain, or snow. But wherever you venture, you can always come home. 'Cause I trust your heart, I trust my heart, and I trust your mind, I trust my mind, and I trust the friends, I trust the friends. I know you will find o'er the hill and on the road, so off you go. And remember, I believe in you.
Starglow!